The Operation Maintenance Manual in SIS 2.0 is fairly easy to find, fairly simple to use. So go ahead and put in whatever your serial number is of whatever you're working on, as you normally would, and do what we call go into the machine. So now I've navigated past my home screen by putting the serial number in the serial number field, click navigate, and it brought me to my product configuration screen. By default, as soon as you go into this screen, the parts tab will be loaded up on the left-hand side with your systems and components, and then you'll be looking at your as shipped product here in the center of the screen. So those tabs up top, you have parts, repair, and service. So depending on the permissions that you have in your subscriptions to SIS, when you click on the service button, it may look different than what you see on my screen here. So if you have the full service subscription through Milton Cat, you'll have basically all the service information for the machine. So anything that would come in the service manuals, you would have access to that. If you had a different subscription, if you had the basic parts and maintenance subscription, you'll navigate the same way. So I'll put the same serial number in. So now when I go up to the top, you'll still have as shipped product. You still have your systems components because that's all parts related. Now when I click on service, you may only see the operation and maintenance manual. So if you have the full service subscription, just scroll down to where it says operation and maintenance manual, and you'll see it is a tree structure, so you just have to open that pop-up. So for certain machines, the pop-ups might look a little different when it comes up. So one thing I want to caution on, the reason I picked this machine is there is a bit of a curveball. What you're going to look for when you're looking for the OMM for any machine or engine is you're going to look for the machine itself. So in this case, certain machines are going to share the same OMM. So in this case, it's a 950M and a 962M. It's also very popular with skid steers. So skid steers, 226s, 236s, so on and so forth. A lot of them are going to share the same OMM. So whatever information you're looking for, be sure that when you scroll through your selections, that you are picking the correct machine. So there's other information as well in your OMM. There's cold weather recommendations. There's your PIN or your serial number plate location guide. There's really good information under here. So make sure you read all of your options just so you're aware of what they're there in case you're looking for information. When you really need it, you know where to find it. So again, the reason I picked this machine is a bit of a curveball. It's giving me two options with a set of machines. They're 950M, 962M wheel loaders, and then kind of the same selection down here. So which one do I pick? Well, you don't have to decide right off the bat. So if you pick the first one, all you're really looking for is that it's actually offering you an operations section and a maintenance section, product information section. So this is probably where most of the information is going to be found. If I look at the other selection, there's not much there. There's an operations section and a safety section. So there might be some information that's not in this one, but that top one is the best bet. It's got the most options to pick from. So that's the one I'm going to go with. So again, the reason I picked this machine is it's different than what you might see. That's a lot simpler for some other machines or engines. So I just want to make sure in case you see that you knew where to go. All right, so let's have a look. So under my product information section, I'm going to scroll down to first. That's where you're going to find your specs, rated low, emission certification. There's some good information in there. So basically your specs are going to be your operating weight, that sort of thing. Now, not every machine is going to have a product information section. Sometimes they'll put that information in the operations section. So when you're looking at the operations section, it's basically how the machine functions and how the components function as part of the whole machine. So if you look through it, your daily inspection, which is your daily walk around, just things to watch out for. How to operate, the hood, for example, in this one, or if you have a remote door operating system, how the parking brake works, how to start up the machine, how to warm it up. So it's basic operations section of your machine. It's how your machine works and how you're basically going to operate it. For your maintenance section, so let me open that up. This is where you're going to find obviously your maintenance information. So the correct values that the tires should be inflated, what your lubricant viscosities are, so what type of oil or fluid you should be using in each compartment. And then capacities is how much of that fluid you should be using in each compartment. Um, there's also, if you scroll down a little bit, there's going to be your maintenance interval schedule. So if you click on that, it tells you by hour what you should be doing. So there's a when required, pay attention to these systems and address them when required. Every 10 service hours or daily, what you should be doing: 50, 100, 250, 500, 1000, 2000, 3000, and then all the way up to 12,000 service hours. So make sure you know what your service interval hours are and just keep track of the hours on your machine so you know when to perform each one of these services. Now you can see these are all blue hyperlinks. So let's say at 1,000 hours, I'm ready to change the oil. So engine and oil and filter change. If I click on that, it'll bring me to that section of my OMM and show me exactly how to change the oil and the filter on that machine. Now, the other thing you can do, instead of going through your interval schedule, which is very helpful just to let you know, let's say the way I like to use this is, let's say I am ready for an engine, oil, and filter change. All right, I have 1,000 hours on the machine. What else should I be doing? Okay. So if you want to just go directly to a section and you don't want to sort all the way through your service hour intervals, you can just scroll down to that section. So if I scroll down to, on my left-hand side, engine oil and filter change, it'll bring me to that same section without me having to try to figure out, hey, where in the service hours is the engine oil and filter change in this example. But definitely take a look at your service interval hours just so you know what service is being expected to be performed for that machine, whether you're doing it yourself or you're contracting Milton Cat to do it. So let's have a look at what that looks like if I click on that engine oil and filter change. If I scroll down, it gives me the procedure, the location of things, how to do it, and it is printable. Here's your print icon over here if you need to print it and hand it to a tech. So that's a basic walkthrough of your operation and maintenance section. Make sure you familiarize yourself with all of your machines that you have in your fleet and that you go identify for each one of your serial numbers. Now you know where to find that OMM information. And please take the time to familiarize yourself with the functionality of each machine before using it.